It's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mosette, and welcome to episode 501 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as we get ready to take on free agency in the Combine, where offensive linemen are judged by the 40-yard dash for some reason. Let's meet the posse for this episode. Sadly, my partner in crime for Merry Old England, Matt, is not here, but he will be back soon, and I will make up for him missing by doing the show in a really bad English accent. Or maybe not, I don't know. But there are people that are here, and of course, one of the people that is here. Wow, you can tell I teach. One of the posse members, one of our posse members is our news hound. You know him as Shadowhawk. We know him as Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. So far in the Combine, there's no wardrobe malfunctions like what happened to Chris Jones last year.
Oh, thanks, dude. I forgot about that.
Ironically, that's why Matt's not here. He's looking for wardrobe malfunctions on the Combine. So I said wardrobe malfunctions on the Combine. All right, there it is. Sorry. Had to wake up the drummer. Someone else will have to wake up.
First show of the season, Moses.
Yes,
Moses,
I tell you what, and I am in off-season mode. Of course, our big man on campus, if we're talking alternative facts, is Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Thanks, asshole. Moses.
And the love is strong.
Yeah.
How are you, Dustin?
Sure is. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. What have you been doing with yourself since the end of the season?
I don't think we're allowed to talk about that.
All right. We'll move on. Hey.
Okay, then.
Yes. And the fifth season's off and rolling. All right. Well, listen. It's time to tell you what's in store for this episode. Michael Bolton.
Boys, let's get to it.
Yes. Let's get to it. The show's broken into 4 quarters and even a halftime. Quarter 1, we're going to have the 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report. Quarter 2, I will share my Combine experience at the Combine here in Indy, which happened last night, and it's okay. I know it sounds kind of nasty. I'm going to share my experience, but it's actually not bad. We're also going to talk about the Combine with Will, what we should be looking for as a Seahawk fan at the Combine. And a 2-minute warning, I'll present the Casa Moses Combine experience. It's a fairly graphic video. You might want to look away. I look like a big old blueberry on a Ricky Waters jersey rolling down on a table. It's awful, but if you can stand to see me run a 40, you got something to look forward to. If not, you might want to skip the second quarter. Halftime, the best Seahawk-themed play-along game on the internet, 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia between these two gentlemen, Dustin and Will. Mano, face-to-face.
Well,
one-on-one.
Mic to mic, anyways.
Mic to mic.
Yes.
And I know Will was a little bitter about Dustin winning the 4th season championship in trivia.
Well, let's just as long as all the rules are set in stone this time and not being changed on the fly. So
I blame Russia.
I have not talked to any of the judges tonight, so we'll see. Second half starts. Core 3, we're going to tell you who is on the list of Seahawk free agents and who we think will be a Seahawk and who we think will not be a Seahawk next year off that list. And in quarter 4, we're going to play a little NFL Madden, and we're going to just, without a salary cap, without any restrictions of any kind, if we could have any NFL free agent that's available, the one we'd most like to see in a Seahawk uniform next season. Before we start, like, share, subscribe, Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We're on Twitter, Seahawk Positivity. Email is 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. Let's get to the first quarter and the 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report. Yes, it's our own Shadowhawk Will with the news. This 12-Man Fan Jam news report brought to you by the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. The only reason you'd ever want to spend any time in Indy. Will, what you got for us?
Oh, Moses, my first story, unfortunately, is a little on the sad side. It involves one of your favorite all-time NFL players who's not a Seahawk, Colts punter Pat McAfee.
Oh, yes, Pat McAfee.
Unfortunately, former Colts punter Pat McAfee,
yes,
as he has announced that previously announced he was retiring and taking a job at Barstool Sports.
Yes.
McAfee was interviewed on Pro Football Talk Live this week and unfortunately confirmed that he is staying retired. Quote, "My knees have just gotten to the point where they just get beat up. I played soccer my whole life. I'm kind of a heavier person, and whenever you kick and punt, no matter how limited an activity it is, my brain and shoulders are going to be okay, but my knees took a lot of wear and tear from the kicking." However, McAfee still is in good spirits, as he went on to say, quote, "Let's say I go completely broke, and I'm about to star in the next 30 for 30, broke. Maybe then I would kick again."
Nice.
So unless you see McAfee on an ESPN special, he's probably not going to be back in the NFL. But great
he's
career,
done something
great guy.
very nice, real quick. He's done something. First off, Pat McAfee and his twin brother Matt McAfee, which I've seen also, is around Indianapolis. But McAfee, he did something really nice here. There are two girls that are missing. That were abducted, and the police offered $50,000 reward, and he came on TV and said, "I'm going to make it $150,000." So that's pretty nice. He put $100,000 own money out there and said, "I'm going to increase that reward for anybody that can lead to the capture of this disgusting guy." They think it's a guy because there was a picture taken on the cell phone, and then they heard a voice, and then that's all they got. So anyway, that was kind of nice of him. He's a really funny guy. If you don't know who he is, he does do a comedy tour where he tells jokes. Very funny, very personable, great guy. I know people actually have known him and have met him and say he's just a wonderful guy. His knees wore down, huh?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. But he's doing the smart thing by getting out while he's still in relatively decent shape.
You should always get out when your knees wear down, shouldn't you, Dustin?
Yeah, or buy pads or whatever. It just depends on how much money you need. Whatever.
I just lobbed that up there for you, didn't I? Just lobbed that baby nice and high. Here you go.
That spike. I had a hard time spiking it, though. I'm not very
There
tall,
it is, Dustin. Go ahead, bring it down.
Yeah, it takes time.
I couldn't do it myself. I left it for you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Will's next story will be just as good as knees wearing down.
It's going to be about Jenna Jameson.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not really, but I am going for something a bit more uplifting, and it involves Twitter, but not Johnny Manziel on Twitter this time.
Twitter.
No, of course, as we have mentioned, and as everybody knows, the NFL Scouting Combine is going on in Indy right now, and Browns lineman Joe Thomas took to Twitter to tell everybody how much he loves the Combine, or not so much. These are all tweets from Thomas here. "Sorry to the suckers that have to go to the cattle auction this week. Don't forget to lie to teams and say how much fun it is. Don't worry, the staff, coaches, and management don't want to be there any more than you do, so you're not alone. Great for fans, though." Thomas was then asked about the weirdest question he got at the Combine. Quote, "My top two I remember was 1, why don't you want to look a gift horse in the mouth? 2, if I had to be a cat or dog, which would I be?" He continues, "The cat-dog question is the oldest one in the book, and you're prepared beforehand to answer dog because apparently the NFL doesn't like cats." He continues.
There's like Bengals and Panthers. What do you mean they don't like cats?
Could be a
I don't know,
Thundercat.
but Thomas continues. "The gift horse question just confused me, and I think I went silent, probably why I dropped down to number 3. Jamarcus must have nailed that one."
Ouch.
Fellow Browns offensive lineman tweeted that one of the questions he got was, "Name all the ways one could use a brick." To which Thomas replied, "Newer question, but you're trained to respond in the most aggressive alpha male way possible. So weapon would be good answer."
Yeah, obviously they see Friday. That's how you knocked out Debo.
However, NFL commish probably wouldn't like that answer. I hear people get uninvited from the Combine for stuff like that these days. So Joe Thomas just dropping the mic repeatedly on Twitter this week.
Oh God, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Wow, and when we were up, we actually did walk by the guys as they were coming in. Here they come. Yeah, there they come walking down. We got some great pictures of these guys walking into the combine. Easy, Bessie.
That's honestly the best Twitter rant I've heard since Kate Upton about Justin Verlander not getting the Cy Young.
That was pretty sweet, too.
Yeah.
They're still going down the street. There's more. There's a running back from Utah. You hear him? All right. Okay, sorry. Wow, Joe Thomas, not a fan. I guess we can talk about this now because here's the thing I think, and probably Joe Thomas too. Actually, well, a mutual friend of ours, Neil Hart, he said this to me once. I don't watch the combine. I'll be honest with you. I just don't watch it because I don't need my lineman to run a 40. and this is what Neil said one time. He said, I need my lineman to run 7 yards. Okay, I need him to block the guy in front of him and then go down 7 yards and line up and block the guy in front of him again.
Nice.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's good logic.
And I think it's great that when Deion Sanders, the big thing about Deion Sanders is he came here, he ran a 40 and he left, right?
Yeah.
What else does he have to show? I'm really fast. See you at the draft, right?
Yeah.
Well, it worked for Sanders, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean,
it worked all the way to the Hall of Fame.
I got to be honest. I'm not hating Joe Thomas for what he said, especially the Cal thing.
That is awesome.
I'm thinking I need to follow this guy on Twitter if this is a representative of his thoughts. He sounds like a good one.
Well, if you remember when he was drafted, you know where he was when he was drafted.
Yeah, he was on a lake fishing somewhere.
Yeah, with his dad. He said, "We go fishing. I'm going fishing. I don't want to go to New York and." I'm going fishing. And he was drafted third. And he didn't know until he came back off the boat, I think. Or I think he had a radio with him, but it doesn't matter. He was out there fishing. Even when he got it, he didn't care.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's one of the dudes that I kind of hope ends up on the Seahawks. We'll see what happens, man.
But I don't know. Dustin, how do you feel about the combine? I mean, do you feel like it's a lot like what Joe Thomas said, or?
Yeah, I do because I'm a fan, so it's fun for me to watch. But yeah, it's a lot of it seems like it's not necessary because they have pro days all the time and they have different outlets where they can do those types of things. And, we have scouting departments to go to their games and do all that. It seems like it's just one of those ways where the NFL can make money as far as ratings go because we're going to watch it. I mean, I had it on NFL Network earlier today, just kind of checking it out. It's fun for us. So
the thing I like about it, Will, is this. They'll get a guy that's maybe a certain height and a certain weight at a position, and he runs a 40 at this speed, and he does this at this speed or whatever, and they'll find an NFL player that kind of has a similar similar height, similar weight, similar 40 run and everything, and they kind of put him together and say, well, he's kind of like Ezekiel Elliott and what he's done at the combine. That's one thing I do like about it, Will.
Yeah, but they've done that for years. I mean, I spent my whole childhood listening to every slow white guy out there being compared to Steve Largent.
True. True.
So, but yeah, I mean, the combine I think is valuable. I think you can overreact to what you see at the combine. I mean, how many guys have been workout warriors at the combine and complete busts in the NFL? But
right, and vice versa.
It's information. It's like you said, I mean, Cam Chancellor didn't have a great combine. We know how that turned out.
Yeah.
It's good information and it's valuable, but it's part of the whole. It's not if you overemphasize the combine, you can get into trouble.
To me, it's kind of like the chocolate syrup on the ice cream. You got the ice cream, you know what you get with the ice cream. But then if you have one ice cream without chocolate syrup and one with chocolate syrup, it can only help you. You know what I mean? You got two guys that are kind of similar. Yeah. You got two guys that are similar, but this guy runs a faster 40. You might lean towards that guy's combine numbers. In other words, to me, I feel like it can only help a player. It shouldn't ever hurt a player, and it shouldn't be, like you said, the end-all, be-all. To me, it should be tape on the football field. It should be number one above everything else. But if you're stuck between two players kind of similar, then maybe it's a deal breaker one way or the other, like as a tiebreaker or something. You know what I mean?
Well, it's I don't think the physical attributes to it are necessarily the things that are important for the teams, to be honest with you, because you can see how they play and perform on the field with their college tape. So, I mean, going and watching them run a 40 or doing a cone drill or, measuring hands isn't really necessarily something that's going to matter as much, but you get the one-on-one interview and you get a feel for the guy and their personality and how they handle pressure. I think that's probably more of an indication of the value of the combine for a team versus because you don't necessarily have that when you're watching film. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, because you need to know if the guy would rather be a cat or a dog.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. All right. Wow, Will, thanks for the great news stories.
Anytime.
All right, we'll end the 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report here.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Coming up on this episode of 12-Man Fan Jam Show, lots of show left. Video of me running a 40-yard dash. Halftime trivia.
It's a long video.
It's all on video. But coming up next, we share our combine experiences. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Nobody cares.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Welcome to the second quarter of episode 501 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Quick programming notice. This is our 99th episode of this show, believe it or not. We're almost to 100 episodes, and very soon, within the next couple months, you're going to see a special 12-Man Fan Jam Show presentation called 12-Man Fan Jam Show, our first 100 episodes. So just a little
Behind
special.
the music.
Behind the music. And then it all fell apart.
And then the murders
began. I was totally
began.
drunk, and nobody knew it. No. But we're going to do a little retrospect over the first 5 seasons. Should be a lot of fun. That'll be coming very soon on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. But right now we're on our 99th episode, and we're going to talk about the Combine. We have a lot to talk about. First, we're going to ask Will, our resident draft expert, Will Harrison, I like to call him. He goes from Shadowhawk to draft expert. Our draft expert, Will, is going to tell us what we should be looking at. As a Seahawk fan, we turn on the Combine. What should we be looking for, and what should Seahawk fans be interested in the most?
Well, of course, top on every fan's list is offensive line, and the linemen did their drills today. Unfortunately, some of the names that I think some of the linemen that people really wanted to fall to us, guys like Garrett Bowles, Forrest Lamp, something like that. I don't think there's going to be a lineman on the board with our first-round pick who's going to be worth a first-round pick, to be perfectly honest. But there are a couple guys who tested really well today that should be available for us on day 2. Isaac Asiata, I can't pronounce it, but I like the guy, from Utah. Now, he's a guard. He's probably a left guard, but you bring him in, possibly compete with Glowinski at left guard, maybe improve that position a little bit.
Is he related to that old Vikings running back?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
And another guy, Taylor Moten from Western Michigan, played right tackle there, possible tackle or guard at the professional level. Those are 2 guys that could be available for us. It did really well today. We're going to start having the defenders do their drills this weekend. A couple guys to look for. A couple linebackers, pass rushing linebackers. Zach Cunningham from Vanderbilt. Good guy, huge wingspan. Jared Davis from Florida. He's actually not going to work out, but due to injury, but his measurables are really good. It's a guy to think about in the months to come. And then a couple of defensive backs that could be good for us if we want to go the whole big nickel route, having an extra safety in the box, and then potential replacement down the line for Earl Thomas and or Cam Chancellor.
Yeah.
Obi Melifonwu from UConn.
Man, I'm digging the names.
Justin Evans from Texas A&M. Those are 2 guys that, with a good combine, could really shoot up some draft boards. Rise up draft boards, not shoot up draft boards. So. I just realized that could be taken wrong. But those couple names to look for, a couple linemen that could be on our radar come this April, and a couple names to keep in mind as you watch the Combine this weekend.
The competitions that they do, roughly, there's a 40-yard dash. There's a bench press with 225 pounds, see how many repetitions they can do that. There's a vertical jump where they stand there and they jump, see what their vertical is. There's a broad jump where they stand and they do the standing broad jump. There's a 20-yard shuttle and a 3-cone drill. There's a 60-yard shuttle. There's some specific position drills. The football players, under the receivers, they catch a lot of they run a lot of routes and things like that.
Yeah, the Cupid shuffle. Yeah.
Yeah. Asiata, the guard from Utah I mentioned earlier, did 36 reps on the bench press.
Woo!
And he's got pretty long arms, so that was pretty impressive.
Very nice.
Yeah, that makes it more impressive, yeah.
There's the truffle shuffle, which we all know from Goonies.
Right.
And then I guess, I don't know if it's true, each team's allowed 60 interviews in a 15-minute intervals. So I guess they're allowed 60. Physical measurements are taken, obviously. If there's an injury, they're going to evaluate that. And, of course, there's the wonderful Wonderlic that they all take or don't take, and there's the drug screen.
Which they all hope they don't have to take. But
yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
So,
study for that test.
It's kind of important, too. I know we kind of downplay it in the first quarter, but, it is important, especially for those guys that come from smaller schools that kind of get looked at and noticed. I think it's important for them as well. So, it's a little bit, it's what you make it. I think Will is right. You kind of take it in moderation. You don't make it the most important part of an evaluation of a player. It can only help a player. And some players, it might help tremendously. If there's a guy from some small school that comes to the Combine and just tears it up, that will only help his draft stock. So,
one other guy I forgot to mention that could really be helped by a good showing in the Combine due to his less than ideal size, Buda Baker.
Buddha.
Safety
UW.
from the UW. If he has a good Combine, that could really help his stock.
He's like Buddha. That's awesome.
Very Zen-like, yes.
I didn't realize there was a dude in the draft named Obi. I just hope we draft him now.
And he wears, guys got to wear number 1 so he can Obi-1, right?
No shit. Yeah, the force is strong with that one. Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Total marketing
awesome.
in there. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great marketing. Well, as I had mentioned before, I keep talking about the Combine. Every once in a while I'll say here at the Combine because I am just about 20 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now, maybe 30 minutes away from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And the Combine's here every year, and it really has never been a big deal because we can't get into the Combine. I've gone up and I've hung out outside like a groupie, waiting to see people. And I know some people who had. They've run into some coaches, had some good experiences. No one's had a bad experience. But this year they opened it up for something called the NFL Combine Experience. And what they did is the Indiana Convention Center, which is really close to where the Combine's being held, has kind of a fan thing, which if you've ever been to Seattle or the games at the Convention Center in Seattle, they have kind of the fan stuff going on before you go to the game. It's very similar. You walk in, and what you did is it was free. So I got 2 tickets. Little Mo and I got 2 free tickets for this 2-hour time slot on Thursday night. And I said, let's go 6 to 8. We'll check it out. We'll see what's up there. And then if we want to go back Saturday, we can. Well, we went up Thursday, went up last night, and there was no one there. I mean, it was pretty empty. Probably because it was Thursday night, I would imagine. But it was free. But you had like a little QR code on your phone, to register. Like if you wanted to do anything, you had to give them your code. And then like Little Mo, like there was a thing where he did a one-hand, like he did he caught a ball as he fell into a pit with like a bunch of really soft, mushy Nerf balls. So, they took an action shot of him catching the balls. And then if you gave them your QR code, then they would email you the pictures, which is kind of neat.
Cool.
So that's an example. So, and you had 2 hours for that. So all week they've been saying that all during this Combine experience, they were going to have former NFL players sign autographs. So I got my tickets like 3 weeks ago with any idea who was going to be there at all. And so I got home from work yesterday. We were going to leave about 4 and get something to eat and then go on up. And so Jacob gets home, Lil Mo gets home, and I look on my phone. I'm like, well, gee, I wonder who the guy's going to be at the autograph station when we're up there. And up comes the name Mack Strong. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What are the odds that I would get the 2-hour session where my favorite Seahawk from the Holmgren era would be signing autographs?
I've heard of that guy.
He's not bad. So
Yeah.
I just I couldn't wait. Now, I can't wait to get up there. And so we get up there, and there's nobody in line. There are like 3 guys in front of us. I totally fanboyed all over Mack Strong. I feel bad. I think the next time he ever sees me, he's going to be like, that dude's too much.
Security.
The poor guy, but I mean, he let my son come around. I took a picture with him and my son. He was obviously he was awesome. He signed my hat. He signed Little Mo's hat. I was gushing. Little Mo, you got to understand, is only, he's only 11, so he's not real familiar with the Holmgren era. So I was trying to fill him in on the way up, how important, how great, and how wonderful this guy is. And, got to shake his hand and thank him for all he did and told him how much I appreciated how hard you worked. And probably said a couple things I shouldn't have. I don't think he was really thrilled with some of the things I said. But
the Mac or
Mac?
Mo?
Well, because I said,
Mac, I want to have your baby.
Here's the thing. Here's what I said, and I shouldn't have. And I'm going to tell you what I said. I was wearing my Alexander jersey. And I said, I've always said without 38, there wouldn't be a 37.
Yeah.
And he looked at me. I said, well, 37 was pretty good too, I guess. And he grinned. And he gave me one of those, what?
Yeah.
So, at that point, I'm like, I've said too much. I should just shut up. I'm totally fanboying. I should just cool it. But it was a lot of fun. So we got to see Mack Strong. That was neat. Jake, Lil Mo got to go and catch balls from one of those jugs guns, They had 3 of them set up in this place, and you could either run and get balls thrown at you, or you could stand still. Well, he didn't want to run. So he stood still, and he had the footballs come flying over at him. And he caught all 3 of them. He looked great. And he came off the field, and he gave him a high five. We took 2 steps, and he looked at me, grabbed his shoulder, and he went, "Oh, that hurt." So I guess getting hit with a jugs gun, with a football can be painful if you let it come to your body. So, because he said I've always wanted to do that.
Jugs, that could be a problem.
Yeah, he ran into powerful jugs. So that was kind of a neat experience. He got to do that. He got to catch those balls as he fell into the pit. He loved doing that. And there's just like a little fun things. There was a jersey. The rings with all the Super Bowl champs were there. The trophy was there. There was a line of football people, mannequins with NFL or college jerseys. I don't know what that meant, but there it was. Just a bunch of little stuff. And, there's also an obstacle course, but he didn't want to do that, but that's cool. But all in all, it was a good time. We really had a good time, but man, what are the odds that Mack Strong would be the guy when I was up there? It was pretty crazy.
It's really cool.
I'd say, given what happened, the odds are pretty strong. This is gonna be Mac.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
that was unintentional.
That was unintentional.
Sure. I've
Mack
always said
Strong.
Mack Strong had the best name in football for a fullback. How can you not be a fullback with the name Mack Strong? I mean, come on.
Yeah, like a Mack diesel truck.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And another thing we did this week is I decided that I know that they had the reporters in Seattle they went to the VMAC and they did their combine, and they actually did all the tests that all the players do. Well, I'm not the most in shape guy, so I didn't want to do that. But what I did want to do is run a 40 to see what that was like, because I've never done that before, and do the broad jump. I've done a broad jump before, but I know, Dustin, you attempted this as well. You wrote me a message. Do you remember what you said in your message?
Yeah, vaguely. That was just a random thing I had said. I said that.
The funny thing is, I asked the guys to do this, and it was kind of hard because I know Dustin had some problems. He said my clock is still running on my 40 time, and I was only able to jump over 2 broads. I landed on the 3rd one, lacerated her spleen, and sprained my ankle, and apparently we're no longer allowed at Hooters. So
these things happen, Dustin.
Yes, I think you're doing it wrong, but in any event,
that sounded right. Yeah, well, honestly, the first thing I thought of when when you said, "Hey, does anybody else want to try this?" I was like, "Effort? You really want me to put out that effort? Have
Your
you heard me on
reaction-
this? I was like, "Have you heard me on this show?" Anybody that has knows there's not a lot of effort here.
The actual reaction from Dustin was, "You want me to exercise?" I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But thanks for the offer, dude.
but Will's run a 5K, so he's done this.
Yeah, I've done a 12K.
A 12K. That's right. It was 12K.
I mean,
Okay.
technically, I have too, but that was the Army. That's more of a rush course. We were required to.
Yeah, but you also did it with 40 pounds on your back and carrying a rifle. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, the guy was
yeah,
screaming
so,
at you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm done with those days.
So what I told Little Mo and Mosette, I said, I want to do this. And, of course, their reaction was, me too. So I said, all right, well, let's get in the car. Let's go to my school and let's get this done. So without further ado, here is a short video of the Casa Moses Combine experience. Enjoy.
Okay, this is my school, the inside of my school. I am here with Little Mo.
How you doing?
And Mosette.
Hi.
And we're gonna do the 40-yard dash from way down there, and then we're gonna do the broad jump from right here. So they're practicing already. Wish us luck. Pray for me, those who are out there, and we'll see how this goes.
Wait, hold on.
That's a running broad jump. I don't think we can do it. Okay, Little Mo's about to run the 40. How you feel about it?
Excited, I guess.
Excited, you guess? You ready to do it?
Yeah.
All right, get down there and let's see what you got, kid. Oh my God, that's so far away. I don't think I can do this. All right.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Here comes Little Mo. Here he comes. Keep pushing. Oh. Time?
8.35.
8.35. Little Mo, you just ran the 40. How do you feel?
Tired.
What was it like?
Running.
It was running. It was running. That's what it was. All right. Alexis,
Hi.
Little Mo, or Mosette,
There you go.
you're going to run. What are your thoughts on this? All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, go down there. Good luck.
Okay, bye.
Of course, this means I'm next. This is so far away.
Come on, go!
Here she comes. And she ran it.
8 points. 8.49.
How do you feel?
I could go again.
You go again. All right, good job. I guess that's like.
Are you ready, Moses?
Well, I guess I have to, so I'm going to.
And why are you wearing that?
Well, I'm wearing old school. This is Ricky Waters for a couple reasons. One is Ricky was a great running back, so hopefully he'll inspire me. And another thing is if I vomit afterwards, I'm vomiting on an old school jersey, so it's not a problem. All right.
Okay. You ready, Moses? 3, 2, 1, go! How do you feel?
I'm gonna vomit now. I'm gonna take the rest of the week off.
I'll get that on film.
Yeah. Okay, so halfway through, I looked for a water break, but there wasn't one. So I had to run through without the water break. I feel really dizzy, so someone else is gonna have to drive us home.
I call
I
it.
can't do this.
I'll do it.
Oh, great. You're gonna broad jump.
Is it on the back of the foot?
Yeah, back of the foot.
From you?
Right, top
Yeah.
hat for me, my phone for Jacob, dad's lanyard for you.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what's me?
My phone.
All right, here you go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hit one shot at this. Make it good.
Ready?
I'm ready. 4 foot 7 inches. How you feel about that?
Not very good.
Not very good. All right. I think Mosette's going to go next. You going next?
She's gonna beat me.
All right, here we go.
I'm not beat you. I suck at these.
All right, we'll see. It's all in the it's all in the knees. It's all in the knees.
knees.
Well, okay. 3 foot 10 inches. How do you feel?
Nah,
Yeah.
I can't do these anyways.
How do you feel? Are you about to do
I should take a break from the 40. I should take at least a 10-minute break, but I'm going to do this anyway. All right. You ready? It's all in the knees,
Yes, ma'am.
and I don't have any. Good.
Exactly.
How do you feel now that all that's done?
Well, I don't think that anybody in Indy is going to come and take me up for any of the schools or any of the colleges or any of the pros are going to care.
Jacob.
But I don't care. It was a lot of fun, and I hope I beat some of the guys in the 12-man Fan Jam Challenge, Combine Challenge, but probably not. But that's okay if I did. It was a lot of fun. So I'm worn out now, so I'll probably sleep for the next 3 days.
He's not lying either.
No.
There you go. There's the camera time that you said.
Oh, guys, that was exhausting. What are we going to do now for dinner? You can stay in training.
McDonald's?
McDonald's! Yeah!
All right, if you can still, if you're still here after that amazing graphic video of me running a 40, it is time for
PED
halftime.
usage.
It is now halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
Oh, coming up, we got so much more show. Who's going to start the season with a trivia victory?
Me.
Who's going to stay a Seahawk? Why Indianapolis? Can I ever get that picture of Moses running out of my brain? Yes, all these answers and more just around the corner. But first, another edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia coming up.
Hi, I'm Rosette, and you're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, me. Welcome to another edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world!
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants are the posse themselves, Will and Dustin, and here are the rules. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-man Fan Jam Show trivia champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. All right, gentlemen, mono e mono means 6 straight questions, 3 odd, 3 even, and 1 question you can ask the children what they said.
Well, the direct translation is 1 versus 1. But, yeah. Same thing.
Mono e mono is
don't call
actually
me
hand
one.
in hand. But,
oh, yeah. Good point. That's why you're a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Woo, you're begging for English to be our national language, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess along those lines, since Dustin the genius is our champion for last season.
Yeah. Take
Dustin,
two.
Dustin, you get to tell us if you're even or odd.
Tonight I'm definitely odd, so I'll go with that.
Dustin odd.
Well, then I'm getting even.
Oh. All right. Here we go.
I feel like we should have video now with like the dub speaking, like we're about to fight Chinese style in like a kung fu movie.
Round 2.
Oh. Full point. Half point.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Dustin, you get the first question then.
All right.
Oh, by the way, these are all combine questions except for 2, and they're about Indianapolis. So.
Okay, so knowing you, this is about like football combines. Or are we talking about like the thing that harvests
combine?
Yeah.
What does a John Deere combine weigh? No. All right. Dustin, your first
that
question.
One correctly.
Yeah.
Dustin, question 1: how many more quarterbacks ran a faster 40 time at the 2012 combine than Russell Wilson? How many more quarterbacks ran a faster 40? 0, 1, or 2? And it's time to dance!
I'll probably say 2. He's shifty and quick side to side. He doesn't have a lot of top end speed, so I'd say 2.
All right. You know, you're like that person on. You know, I always tell them on Are You a Millionaire? Do you want to be a millionaire? Don't just answer the question. Give us a whole story behind it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to talk yourself through it.
So you said 2. Anyway, I'm sorry. You said 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mosette said 0. Little Mo said 1. You said 2. It's 1. RG3, the only one faster than Russell Wilson in his combine. Yeah. So, we're
I
off
forgive
to a
you.
fly start. Will, your question is this.
Okay.
And your question is not a football question. So,
Yeah,
it's about that great actor Brendan Fraser. You know Brendan Fraser? He's from India, apparently. Who knew? I did not. But in the Brendan Fraser movie, The Scout, he played a baseball pitcher. What major league team did he pitch for? Was it the Dodgers, Mets, or Yankees?
Oh, wow.
Brendan Fraser in the movie The Scout played a guy named Steve Nebraska, I think was the name.
Yeah, I think
what
you're right.
team was it, the Dodgers, the Mets, or the Yankees that Brendan Fraser pitched for in the major leagues?
George of the jungle.
Yep,
Watch
that's
out
it.
for that tree.
Yeah.
I have no earthly idea, so I'm going to go with the Yankees.
That sounds like a lot of free agents in baseball. I have no idea. I'm going to go to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Little Mo went with the Mets. Mosette went with the Yankees. You went with the Yankees. And it is the Yankees, yes.
Woohoo!
Will's on the board. All right. Dustin.
Yeah.
Question 3.
All right.
How many more wide receivers ran a faster 40 time at the 2015 Combine than Tyler Lockett?
It probably wasn't 2.
3, 4, or 5? How many more receivers ran a faster 40 time at 2015 Combine than Tyler Lockett? 3, 4, or 5?
I don't know. I'll say 4.
He'll say 4.
No idea.
No idea. What? You don't know that?
I don't. Off the top of my head, no.
You're kidding. So you said 4?
I did.
Well, Little Mo said 4. Mosette said 3. You said 4. Nah, 5. 5. Yeah.
You're kind of being a jerk tonight.
I'm trying to help you. I'm just trying.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Will, let's do a football question this time.
That's fair enough.
I'm going to give you 3 players, and you tell me who ran the fastest 40. You ready? 2014 NFL Combine. Who was the quickest 40? Odell Beckham, Brandon Cooks, or Paul Richardson? Who ran the fastest 40 out of those guys? Odell Beckham, Brandon Cooks, or Paul Richardson? And they're all close. I will give you that.
Kind of surprising tall as Odell is.
Odell Beckham, Brandon Cooks, Paul Richardson. Who ran the fastest 40-yard between them?
You know what? I'm going to go Brandon Cooks.
Okay. Any particular reason? You want to expand like the other guy or not?
No.
Okay.
He's hungry, do cook stuff, whatever.
Mosette said Odell Beckham. Little Mo said Brandon Cooks. You said Brandon Cooks. Yeah, Brandon Cooks. Paul Richardson faster than Odell Beckham, by the way, if you're keeping track.
Better hair, too.
Oh, okay, Dustin. Let's get this one, all right?
All right.
Put some pressure on him. Because right now it's 2-0.
Oh, so the pressure's on me then. Okay.
Unfortunately for you, this is the non-football question, and it's about Vivica A. Fox, who's also from Indianapolis.
Who knew?
What was the name of Vivica Fox's character in Sharknado 2, the second one? Was her name?
Is that literally like the subtitle or whatever to it? The other title, whatever it's called?
Sharknado
The second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sky, Tisha, or Willow? Sky, Tisha, or Willow? What was her name in Sharknado 2, the second one? Sky, Tisha, or Willow?
I don't know. I'll say Tisha. I have no idea.
You'll say Tisha.
I will. I did. Yeah.
Okay, you did. Tisha. Yeah. Mosette said Sky. Little Mo said Tisha. You said Tisha. All right. It was Sky. sky.
I'm
saw
about
the
done with the
first
show
one.
for the night.
So now it comes down to this. If Will gets this, do I make the final question worth 3 points?
Yes, you will.
Yeah, inevitably.
I probably
yes.
will. So, okay, here's the question, Will.
You know what, Moses? Have it be worth 3 points anyway, so there's no sudden
That's a
death
good idea.
overtime.
Yeah, we'll just make it 3 points regardless. Good point. Which makes all this useless. Who ran the fastest 40-yard dash in the 2009 NFL Combine? Which one of these three players was the fastest? Deion Butler, Percy Harvin, or Jeremy Maclin? Who was the fastest at the 40? Deion Butler, Percy Harvin, or Jeremy Maclin? That's quite a crew.
It is, yeah. Some speedsters.
I'm going to go Deion Butler on this one.
He's going Deion Butler on this one.
Penn State, represent.
Both kids went with Jeremy Maclin. But not you. You went with Deion Butler. Deion Butler!
Woohoo!
Faster than Percy Harvin. Faster than Jeremy Maclin. Who knew? All right,
Okay.
guys. It is now time for the final question.
Oh, dear.
All right, here we go.
Okay. All right. That's what we're doing now. That's cool.
Here we go. Final question. How many? Oh, wait. We got to get the order here. Dustin will go first. Will go second. Of course, it's a number. The closest without going over gets 3 points. So this could be an overtime coming up, or it could be, a complete
I don't
dusting
think
by Will. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Are you
Hey,
ready?
I tanked before.
That's, it's time.
True.
Now, right now, the Atlanta Falcons are listening, going, "Come on, Dustin!" All right, Dustin and Will. Dustin first. Here's your question: how many players attended the very first combine? It was called the National Invitational Camp in 1982. How many players attended the first combine in 1982?
I don't think it was many. I'll say like 78.
He'll say like 78. Well,
Yeah. And I say like because if he gets closer than me, I reserve the right to change my answer. Dang it.
How many players? 1982, the National Invitational Camp, also later known as the Combine.
And what was Dustin's answer?
78.
Okay, there was about 9 billion rounds of the draft back then, so I'm gonna go one over, take 79.
Awesome.
You just got Price's Right.
I did. Price is Right, yeah.
Price's Right.
Yeah.
The amount of players that attended the first Combine in 1982 was 163. You got the touch, Will! Congratulations, buddy. You got the power. Congratulations, Will, on being our very first this season 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion.
Of the
world. I'm comfortable with that because I wanted to hear the song. I talked about that earlier a little bit. So
See, all is as it should be.
Yeah.
The Transformers. Oh, what a wonderful, crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam halftime trivia. We'll be back right after this station identification.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Yes, welcome to the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Programming note coming to a Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel near you. Very soon will be a special 12-Man Fan Jam Show, the first 100 episodes, a historical and maybe hysterical retelling of the story of this show and all the joy, pain, and tears that 100 episodes of anything can possibly bring you. So be looking for that in the next month or so, but right now we're going to take a look at the possible Seahawk free agents from the end of this last season. There's your list, and we are going to sit down. We're going to decide who we want to keep and who we think is going to be gone, or who we want to go, however you want to say it. But first, we're going to talk about the guys that we want to keep on this team. We got to re-sign this guy, or we want to re-sign this guy. Dustin, who do you want to re-sign from that list?
Well, there's 3, Dennis.
Oh,
But
get
I'm only-
comfortable.
I'm only going to talk about one.
Shut up! Shut up, Stan!
I'm only going to talk about one.
All right.
And it'll actually relate directly to the one that I think we can lose. The one I want to keep, who he was a late addition to the team this year, and he played very, very well. I was impressed with what he did. Marcel Reese. I hope that we bring him. I hope we bring him back. He's a solid blocker and he's versatile and he can do a lot of things on the backfield. So I want that guy to come back.
I like him. He had a great end of the season. I agree. I could not agree more with that. It's a good pick. Will, what about you? Who's somebody on that list that you'd like to see us keep?
Well, it's not he's not a big name, but he's definitely contributed, and we brought him back last year, and I'd like to see him back again this coming year just for depth. Tony McDaniel.
Nice.
I think he's a solid player in the middle, good depth in case one of the starters goes down, and I hope we can bring him back at a decent contract.
Yeah, a veteran. He is 30, going on 32. It looks like 31, 32, but he really played well and played well at Miami before we got him, and has played very well for us. I agree that would help some depth at the defensive tackle position, and still got some tread on those tires. I think, no doubt about it.
He's been kind of a solid anchor there. Yeah, he's done a good job.
Yeah, he really has. I'm going to keep a position player that maybe didn't have the best year, but I think for reasons that we don't want to have to reach in a draft, I hope that they keep Michael Morgan. Michael played pretty well when he was out there. He was beat up a lot, I know, and he was injured, but he is only 28. He has some experience. I thought he did quite okay at outside linebacker. I'm not to the point where I'm like, man, we're set at outside linebacker with Mike Morgan, but he did pretty nice job when he was out there, I thought.
He did okay. I thought there was an obvious drop in talent and playmaking ability from Bruce Irvin to anybody who had out there, but he was fairly solid.
Good depth guy, if nothing else.
Good depth guy, if nothing else, and it keeps them from doing what they don't like to do, which having to go into the draft with the position that they have to get, which I know they don't like doing that. So, that's what I like to see. Now, Dustin, who's gone? Who are we waving goodbye to?
For the Seahawks?
Yes.
Will Tukuafu.
No, for the 49ers.
My guy is Tukuafu because I want to keep Marcel Reese. So, I mean, direct connection there.
Yeah.
Tukuafu has his own style of versatility because he can play on the defensive line, but I just don't like him as much as a fullback and an offensive playmaker. Marcel Reese, I feel like, is better at his specific skill set than Tukuafu is, and I'm ready to see him go.
Well, and I'm not. You've always had it out for Tukuafu.
Well,
it's because the guy's 5 times his size.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I remember when we first got him, and we were like, that guy did all right, and we got to Dustin. He's like, no, he sucks as a blocker, man.
No, at the time he did. He came, if I remember correctly, came from the 49ers practice squad.
Right.
And he was missing blocks left and right, just whiffing. I'm like, how can you be that big and miss the little guy in front of you? How does that happen?
Ask Jamarcus Webb that.
Yeah.
Or frickin' some games of Fetty this year. But that was
but
a
he's
little guy.
Also 33, so I mean, there's also that. I think at 33, I think, and I agree with you. Actually, I think we're ready for a real fullback to play fullback in Marcel Reese and let Tukuafu go. I'm totally okay with that. What about you, Will? Who's gone?
I think Kelsey McRae is going to be gone. He did some good stuff for us. He's a big reason why we didn't lose the game in Arizona last year. On the other hand, he was a big reason why we almost lost the game when Atlanta was in town last year. Yeah. And when you look at the games late in the season, after we brought back Jerron Johnson, he was getting into the game a lot more than Kelsey McRae was. And I think the writing's on the wall for McRae. Yep. I think the team's going to let him go.
I think so too, and I actually had him on my list.
Yeah, so did I. I think
sorry.
That's a dude that I think he's 28 years old, and I think that's a position where with Earl at his age and Cam at his age, the safety position, where we need to try and get younger and bring in some younger guys that are going to be less expensive and try and work them up through that spot.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
I can see that. The guy that I think is gone is Brandon Williams. I think he was brought in. I think he was basically brought in to see if Graham could actually still be Jimmy Graham or play. And I know Brandon Williams has done a lot on special teams, but I think that his days are numbered. Not necessarily about Luke Wilson if he is or isn't on this team, but I think with Vinette, or as Matt likes to refer to him as Vinay, with Vinay at tight end and Jimmy Graham, I think they're pretty solid at 1 and 2. If you can get Luke Wilson back, that's going to be. I think that's going to be definitely the end of Brandon Williams. But we'll see. I just think he was kind of an insurance policy, and I think that we don't need him anymore. So
there's no way we keep 4 tight ends again this year. It's just we can't do that.
Williams was just a guy. He was just a guy.
He was just somebody that we used to know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Memory.
Oh my God! Yes, we'll be singing somebody you used to know later.
I kind of feel like we should put things out there for Mark and Matt that aren't here though, because we kind of missed a couple people that are kind of key as far as keeping.
Okay.
Based on one is Devin Hester. We don't know what's going on with Tyler Lockett and his leg, and if he's going to be able to come back and fill that same role at the beginning of the season. So having a punt returner with Devin Hester's pedigree might be a good idea to keep around. You know what I mean?
I thought he retired.
Did he retire?
Well, he hasn't officially yet, but he's saying he's going to. But I agree with Dustin that, honestly, regardless of whether, even if Lockett is good to come back at the start of the season, I would be happy to turn the returning chores over to somebody else, just have him concentrate on being a receiver. So if Hester does retire, I'm hoping we spend like a day 3 draft pick on somebody with return ability.
I was going to say, the one caveat on that would be depending on who they get, because you say, well, I'd rather have anyone, let's get Lockett off the punt returns, and then they put like Richard Sherman back there, and you're going, no! So depending on who they put back there, I agree with you, yes.
And then the other guy I was thinking was Hauschka. Because do we really want wide left being our guy going into the year?
Well,
probably not.
Well, we'll see.
Do we want? Well, Hauschka wasn't that great last year either, and Walsh is a lot cheaper. So
and Walsh was an All-Pro not too long ago, and so if he got out for 3 months, he gets his head straight. Maybe he's a guy very cheap. I don't think Hauschka's gone just because Walsh is here. And I said that when it happened. Competition. Again, if Hauschka signs with somebody right before the draft, we wouldn't have a kicker. Then we have to draft a kicker to have somebody. Now, we're covered.
Or an undrafted kicker. We're going to bring somebody else in to complete with Walsh.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, here's the thing that I think about that. If you bring in somebody like Walsh, yeah, that's one thing. But if you're the incumbent and you're the guy that's looking and you're going into free agency, if they bring that guy in, do you really want to go back there for competition? Because you have the option to leave and go wherever you want and play with whatever team needs a kicker. Do you really want to go back and do the competition thing? Or do you want to go find a job where you can actually be the legit starter and play?
Or do you understand?
I think it works better.
This is just an insurance policy?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think that strategy in particular works better with a player that's still under contract. This guy's not under contract. He has the option to walk away if he wants. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it depends on what other teams are willing to pay for him, too. I mean, we don't know what kind of market he's going to have.
Plus the fact that if he does walk away, then we're left holding the no-kicker bag, which, then what do we do? I mean, we have to cover – it's a business. I think Hauschka hopefully would understand they're bringing this guy in at $1 million, not to get rid of me, but to cover their bases. And if I leave, then they've got somebody. It's business. You can't sit there and say, well, gee, I hope Hauschka comes back, or I hope he doesn't screw us come draft day, because then that's when it's going to happen. The day before draft, he signs with the team, and you go into draft day going, now we got to get a kicker because we don't have one. And I would think he would at least see that. I see that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
What about Luke Wilson? A possibility, yes, no, maybe so. He made $584,000 last year. He's going to get better than that out there.
He sounds like a guy that's willing, that he wants to go out there in free agency and see what happens.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think he's solid for what the Seahawks ask a tight end to do. I think he's solid. I don't think he's exceptional by any means, but I think that they're not going to be willing to pay him what he can make in the free agent market, so I think he's gone.
Yeah, probably.
Well, you set a value for Wilson, and if somebody else offers more, you wish him well. If not,
I think so.
Bring him back, and we're fine there too. I'm okay either way.
I am too.
Yeah.
I've heard they've placed a high priority on Nico Thorpe, which is interesting, who was an amazing special teams demon. I really liked watching him play special teams, and he's only 26. So this is a guy that has maybe a high upside, but I've heard they made him a priority.
He actually was halfway decent during his brief stint on defense too last year. I forget which game it was.
I was actually very surprised when they put Jeremy Lane out there to cover for
Shed.
Yeah, when they put him out there, because I thought that they would put Thorpe outside and put Lane inside, and then freaking Lane was outside. He was getting torched. He didn't play very well. And because they had done that earlier in the year, they put Thorpe outside and let him play, and he played pretty well. So that was kind of interesting. So I'm hoping that he comes back as well, and I hope that they allow him to play outside because I thought he did a decent job.
Yeah, I did too. I thought he did all right. All right, well, I think that's it. Any other free agents we need to talk about on that list that could maybe be an important swing one way or the other as we get towards the draft?
No, I just want to say goodbye, Bradley Sowell.
I was just going to say, you can't forget about Bradley Sowell.
I think we just did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we did. And I think on that note, we'll forget Bradley and end the third quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter coming up. A lot more show left. We're going to talk about our dream free agent acquisition for the Seahawks. You're listening to 12-Man Fan Jam Show, where effort is overrated. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, everybody. This is Statsman Mark. And when I'm not listening to Charo's greatest hits on 8-track tape, I'm listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Ah, yes, it is time for the fourth and final quarter of the episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. This quarter, we play a little Madden football. We're going to remove the salary cap, remove the financial constraints of the business side of football, and we're simply going to take a look at the free agents out there in the NFL, and we're going to take one and we're going to add them to our Seahawk team, free of the constraints of a salary cap or any kind of business of any kind. Will, you have the entire free agency looking at you in the face. Who do you want on the Seahawks?
Well, Moses, comments from John Schneider and Pete Carroll in the Combine this week. Something I agreed with, actually. It's just that we need more of a veteran presence on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I think this is the year to do it because with as few free agents as we're going to lose, we're not going to get any comp picks next year anyway. So, and I think with it being such a defensive draft, I think it makes sense to focus primarily on defense in April and offense, particularly offensive line in March. He also reiterated his support for George Fant at left tackle, which, okay, give the guy a shot. I think he's deserved another shot. Why not?
Yeah, he's the only tackle under contract, so yeah, support that guy.
Yes. This is true. However, I'm sure Gary Gilliam will be tendered at some level too. But anyway.
Did you say Terry Gilliam is tender?
No.
Yeah, he has a tender, but we're going to swipe left with that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, interior O-line has promise. We need tackles. So what I'm thinking is, for a free agent, I want to sign Riley Reif, formerly of the Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because the guy has played, he's not the best out there, but he's played both right tackle and left tackle.
Yep.
So you start off the offseason with him at right tackle. You give Fant, maybe Odhiambo, whatever, shot at left tackle. If that doesn't work, you have the option of moving Reif to left tackle.
Yeah.
So, you have options with Reed. You can put him at right tackle. You can put him at left tackle if Fant's still struggling, and that just gives you more things that you can do without being completely hosed this year.
We do like our linemen to play on multiple positions, don't we?
Indeed.
Yeah. We like to just put the 5 guys out there and just see where they fall. And so the fact that he's played right and left tackle, that's a great pick. Wow. That's a really, really great pick. Makes a lot of sense. And I feel really, really intimidated right now with my guy. But, no, I'm kidding.
You picked a kicker, didn't you?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I picked a long snapper because I want Gresham back.
That's not a bad pick.
That's not a bad pick.
That's fine, yeah. True. I'm cool
we
with
love
that.
you, Clint Gresham. Come back.
Yeah. I can't quit you.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, that was wonderful. That's exactly, that's a great pick. Makes a lot of sense. What about you? Now we go to Dustin.
Dustin, what 12 guys do you want to bring in?
Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you. All right, so here's the thing. In a dream fantasy scenario, which I know will never happen, but here's what I would kind of like to see was Shed being injured, being out for a little bit. We need another corner. Who would be better to go opposite Sherman than Revis?
Oh, Lord.
Tell me that. Sherman and
you know what?
at corner.
True story. Little Mo, 11 years old, said the same thing today to me.
Yeah.
Dad, how great would it be to see Revis and Sherman on the same team?
Oh, God, dude. That would be amazing. I know it's not going to happen, but, man, that'd be so much fun.
It's a dream world.
Well,
it is a dream world right now.
Give Sherman someone else to yell at during the game.
Right. So, another thought I had for a minute was Martellus Bennett. And here's why.
That would be fun.
Wow.
It would, but I'd be a little bit worried about it. And but here's how it would work for me. Because you know Brandon Marshall's a free agent and people are talking about there's a lot of rumors about him maybe coming here.
Oh yeah.
But and it's because he's a big wide receiver target. I feel like we already have a big wide receiver target in Jimmy Graham.
Yes.
You bring in Martellus Bennett, have him play tight end, push Jimmy Graham out to wide receiver, and then you have the best of both worlds there. My only apprehension about that whole thing, and Martellus Bennett's actually a better blocker too than Jimmy, just throwing that out there. But my apprehension about that is having both Bennett brothers, because in watching their show that they did and kind of their attitudes, if they're having issues, that shit's going to escalate in the locker room.
Wow, true.
Yeah, that'd be my only worry about that. But if it worked, it'd be a lot of fun.
It would be. And just the idea of having, those 2 tight ends, like you said, having Bennett and Graham out there, and then flanking one of them out, flanking both of them out.
Yeah.
Playing both double tight ends. That's exciting to me, and I keep waiting to see that here. Carroll did that a lot at USC with 3 tight ends. I keep waiting to see it here. Let's see that happen here, and that might be the final piece. I would love to see that. That'd be awesome.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Somebody else that I was just kind of drooling over here, that we need a veteran presence at running back, AP.
Yeah.
AP here in Seattle. I know it's a different running scheme. It's a different thing altogether, but come on now. AP here, we could use that power running. But, and I'm not going to go through the rest of them other than the guy that I really would actually think would fit here if it worked financially. I don't know if it will or not. But I think Tony McDaniels is a long in the tooth, and I think he's going to be out. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see Don Terry Poe here on our defensive line.
Woo.
That would be amazing.
Woo!
Cool. Come over from Kansas City, fill the middle here, be the anchor, dude.
Man, and he'd fill the middle, too. I mean, he's a middle filler. Wow.
He's already a bit filled up in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, my pick's really kind of anticlimactic after all that. I had 2. One is a rumor that it may happen, which I think would be great, and that is Andrew Whitworth from the Bengals, the offensive lineman Andrew Whitworth, who has said, I want to play for a contender. I want to play for a Super Bowl team, which is always hopeful that he will want to be paid.
He's going to go with the Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Dude, again, you are channeling. That's exactly what Little Mo said. I said, well, Whitworth wants to play for a champion. He drew me. He goes, he'll go to the Patriots. I'm like, I know.
I need to do that more during our predictions.
Crazy. I know.
Yeah, listen to Little Mo, Dustin.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But no, he said that. But I like Whitworth. But the one I picked that I really like, and he's young, he's unproven, he only had one decent year, but I'm thinking the same way that you are a little bit, Dustin. A.J. Boyu from Texans, defensive back. He's young.
Yeah.
I watched that kid play, and I was just mesmerized. If we could get something like that opposite of Sherman, oh my gosh. That would be amazing. We're missing that fourth piece since Maxwell left. We've been missing that fourth piece.
The fourth Beatle.
Yes, we need our fourth Beatle, and this kid could be that fourth Beatle. They don't have to be a Pro Bowler or a shutdown, but they just need to be a really good defensive back, and I don't think we've had it since Maxwell. And if we could get that, oh my goodness, how tough that defensive would be. Because
that'd
the
be
front
great.
seven wouldn't have to worry about anything. And then the back four, we got this. You go ahead. Throw 6 at them. I don't care. We got this.
Yeah.
And, that would just be amazing. So I know that's kind of weird because, oh, my God, we need offensive line. I get that. But, man, if you can get that guy opposite Sherman, whoa.
Here's the thing, though. Most of the free agents that are available, offensive line isn't really – There's
not a lot of wow factor. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not a lot of solid players. Offensive line as a whole in the NFL right now is not very strong. So free agency,
which is
as a result of that, it's not going to be very strong. So you have to.
It's not a bad year for Seattle to not sign anybody too. I mean, I'm okay with that.
You know, somebody else that would be kind of cool to see, Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell here on the edge would be nice for us, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. We will see what happens. As our next show will probably be a little bit closer to the draft. So we'll have some time to let free agency kind of sit and stir. I think, Will, you said next Thursday. What date is that? Is it the 9th? The 9th? Is the 9th the draft? Or not the draft, but the free agency start?
Free agency starts on the 9th. The legal tampering period where agents can talk to teams starts Tuesday.
Tuesday. So we are right there on the verge of free agency, so we'll see how this goes. And hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about in a few weeks. But unfortunately right now, it looks like it's time to bring this wonderful and amazing 12-man Fan Jam show to a sad close. And we're so glad you decided to waste some time with us. We certainly hope you laughed a little and maybe you learned something. What did you learn tonight on this show, 501? Well, we learned that Joe Thomas really loves the Combine. We learned that you've got the touch, you've got the power. We learned that McAfee has sore knees. We learned that Moses scared Mack Strong. We learned that you need to swipe left on Gilliam, and we finally we learned how much we love Clint Gresham. So, on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, who's not here, our news hound, Shadowhawk Will, Statsman Mark, who's also not here, Dustin, who is here as the Beaver, Roger Goodell, Mosette, Little Mo, Buddy Hackett, Sheila McRae, Art Cardi, Paul Tagliabue. Good night, everybody. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
We love you, Clint Gresham. Come back. Come back, please.
Baby, come back.
Clinty, come back.